Hi, I thought I'd spend just a couple of minutes saying hi to some of you guys out there who are looking after kids and young people in this very, very odd time. Essentially, what's happening is all of our kids and young people feel different degrees of trauma right now. And if we see trauma as a definition of powerlessness and terror, quite a few of our kids are feeling a degree of terror, and that depends on their background, it depends on their past, it depends on different experiences that they've had, and it also depends on how we as the parents or the carers have managed to try and explain what's going on to them in language that they understand. And I'd love to help you just to help reduce their terror right now. But pretty much all our kids and young people are in a state of powerlessness. They're feeling controlled. We're all feeling controlled. As adults, we're feeling controlled. There's so many rules about what we can and we can't do. None of us are used to this. It's so uncertain and so weird for us all. But when kids and young people are feeling muddled and they're feeling confused and they're feeling powerless and frightened, then actually that is going to show in their behavior. And so I just wanted to just flag up for those of you that right now are in families where you are feeling that the chaos has escalated, where you're feeling like the behavior has escalated, where you feel like you don't know what to expect next. Don't panic. This is all normal. It's particularly normal if your kids or young people have had some difficulties that they've had to overcome in the past. It's normal. And I expect you might be panicking, they might be panicking. And so I'm just going to offer a few little tips as to what we can do as adults to try and help our kids and young people feel less terrified, less powerless, and less overwhelmed. So I hope this is going to be helpful. So just first little tip is that actually children's behavior is communication. So our first reaction, because all of us adults are feeling relatively stressed, and some of us are feeling very, very stressed, and obviously some of you are dealing with situations to do with loss and situations where you or your partner or people in your home are having to work on the front lines right now, and that does add to the extreme levels of stress in your house. And so we need to have that validated. We need to recognize that, because that actually helps reduce the stress when we recognize that what your life experience is different to other people's life experience. And so we're validating right now that you are in even more stress than normal, and well done. But when we recognize that everybody's in a state of some kind of stress, actually what they need more than anything, both us adults and children, is some kind of sense of comfort, some way of finding comfort. So because the children are looking to us as adults to have a sense of safety, kids and young people always, they look to us as adults and they kind of scan our faces and they kind of vibe us out as to what we're feeling to see whether they should worry or not. I'm sure you've been there in a situation before where there's a big bang in the house, like a door, I don't know, maybe a saucepan lid falls off. What happens is kids and young people go, oh, and then they look at their close adult to see how they're responding. And if the close adult is going, ah, then they will follow. And they will go, ah, it's not safe. But if they look at the close adult and the close adult laughs, then the child will go, oh, it's nothing to worry about. So kids and young people right now, they're looking at us. They're working out if they're safe or they're not by what we say, but very much by our vibe, by our nervous system, by our face and how our facial reactions are, by how we're behaving. And that puts a little bit more pressure on us than usual. And for some of you who are struggling with anxiety or struggling with just staying sane in this period of time, I recognize that puts more pressure on you that you don't need right now. But if you can find some way of comforting yourself, whether that's just having 10 minutes on your own with a cup of tea where it's just your time, whether you can look forward to a bath in the evening where you just close the door and breathe and be on your own, just to process your own thoughts and needs. Whether it's that after lunch, the first thing after lunch you do is have some quiet reading time or some TV time for the kids where you can just take yourself aside, just breathe, just think, just be, whether it's snuggling up under a blanket, whether it's having a cup of tea, whatever it is for you. If you as the adult can spend even 10 minutes a day doing something for you, it will help your kids feel a little bit safer in the home. There's no judgment, there's no blame or shame. Every one of us is in different situations. And whatever you're doing, well done. Don't feel shame, don't feel bad. We're going to pull through this, and I'm going to keep giving you more tips. I hope that helps.